Coast to coast. The Stephen A. Smith Show starts right now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you as I love to do every weekday over the national airwaves of ESPN Radio and ESPN News, 250-plus markets across the United States of America. Check your AM/FM listing nearest you, plus ESPN Radio on Sirius XM Channel 80, plus ESPN Radio simulcast over the live national television airwaves of ESPN News. Number to call up, as always, is 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. The Stephen A. Smith Show is being brought to you by mycomputercareer.edu. Training for a better life. Time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. If you are anticipating, since I am all over this nation, but I am a native New Yorker, if you are anticipating that I'm going to start this show off today raving about the New York Jets, you got another thing coming. Let me get that pipe dream out of your mind right now. The New York Jets have won 3 straight. I don't give a damn. I will say this. They have been impressive. They have been impressive. Wins over the New York Giants, over the Washington Redskins, means nothing to me. Shellacking the Oakland Raiders yesterday the way that they did, courtesy of a 31-point beatdown that they handed the Oakland Raiders at MetLife Stadium, that was impressive. Shockingly so, I might add. And if that's something to give me cause to pause, I'm down for that. But I just want to make sure everybody understands that, you know what? Why doesn't Adam Gase go out and win games that count? That victory over the Dallas Cowboys earlier was a big, big deal. Outside of that, the Jets started off 1-7. These games are relatively meaningless, so everybody and their mother knows that you're already out of it. Mathematically, not yet. But the bottom line is nobody's expecting much from the New York Jets right now. I will give Adam Gase credit. They have looked better. I will give him credit. Their play calling has been significant. They've amped up the intensity. Defensively, they've been impressive. Jamal Adams, since getting into it with the New York Jets, prior to the NFL trading deadline, this man has performed lights out. I get all of that. And as a result of that, I will jump off the bandwagon of those flying flags over MetLife Stadium and over the Jets practice facilities and talk about Adam Gase should be gone. No, I think that we can pump the brakes on that. I think to give respect and credit where credit is due, the way that they're playing right now, if this were to continue, then obviously Adam Gase, not that it was an issue of him losing his job since Christopher Johnson came out and said Adam Gase had nothing to worry about. He would be here next year. But now he's earning it. He's gotten that vote of confidence from ownership. And as a result, the team has gone out and they perform relatively well. They're 4-7 on the season, winners of 3 straight. And we got to give the Jets credit where credit is due, although we all know they ain't going to make the playoffs. We all know they'll be watching the postseason with us. And we all know that they'll come up short yet again because that just is the nature of the New York Jets. Having said all of that, we all know what the lead story is. We all know that it's not the Jets. And it's not the Giants and the fact that Pat Shurmur will be without a head coaching job once this season rolls around, once the season's over, because he deserves to be gone. We all know how unimpressive he is and how impressive he was. And now the fact that his 10-23 record coming in to the New York Giants job was proof in and of itself that he never deserved a head coaching job to begin with. We all know that. So in New York, it looks like Adam Gase is going to survive. Pat Shurmur will not. And that is that. In L.A., Anthony Lynn could be in some trouble. My response is he did have a 12-win season last year. So the level of ineptitude has only been about this season when we all know that he has a quarterback that's over the hill in Phillip Rivers. So do I say give Anthony Lynn a chance to come back next season and not let the die be cast, per se? In terms of his tenure as head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers, I say yes, keep him on board. Keep him on board. We got a Monday night game we'll get into a little bit later with the Ravens and the Los Angeles Rams. We'll get into that. But the lead story is obviously the Dallas Cowboys. Now, let me say this. Dallas Cowboys lost 13-9 yesterday. The Dallas Cowboys lost that game. Inclement weather, gusting winds, a lot of rain, clearly cold weather, and that proverbial fog that's always hovering over Gillette Stadium, it seems, this time of year. I thought the tripping penalties against Smith, against Frederick, I thought that was utterly ridiculous. No way those should have been called. Dallas had converted that third and fourth situation. Should have been a first down. No way in hell. That should have actually was 3rd and 1. Should not have counted against the Dallas Cowboys. That's a bogus call. These officials with technology and the replays and everything else, it's amazing to me how many mistakes they make. All of that's true. But if you think for 1 second that Jerry Jones didn't have a point with what he was saying about his coaches, and if we have that sound, please let me know. If you think for 1 second that Jerry Jones did not have a point with saying what he said about his coaching staff, led by Jason Garrett, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Jerry Jones, in the aftermath of the Dallas Cowboys' latest loss, dropping them to 6-5 on the season, and if it wasn't for the woeful Philadelphia Eagles right now saddled with a 5-6 record, Dallas wouldn't even be in first place. Jerry Jones was utterly disgusted. He was not happy. Do we have that sound, Cat? Do we have that sound, Scott? Let's hear from Jerry Jones speaking in the aftermath of the New England Patriots knocking off the Dallas Cowboys at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough yesterday. Listen to the owner of the Dallas Cowboys speak on this.
To me, special teams is 100% coaching. It's 100% coaching. How, strategy, it's having players ready. They use the makeup of the roster. We exclude certain players from it because they're too important in the defense and offensive phase of it. But other than that, special teams. And that's why today give Belichick and give them credit. They did a great job on special teams, and that was really probably the determining difference. To really step up here and do this, but I want to see us coordinate our defense, offense, and special teams. We need to, as a whole team, coordinate a complete, if you will, balanced. Not balance isn't the word for it, but I want to see a winning game out of all of those guys acting a little bit in coordination and unison.
That's not exactly the sound that I was looking for because he was talking about the coaches as well. The special teams coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys is Keith O'Quinn. Good luck with hoping that this brother has a job come Thanksgiving because by the sound of Jerry Jones, it didn't look good at all. Let me say this. Let me get this out the way right now. Jason Garrett should be fired today. And I challenge anybody to disagree with me on this. In the interest of full disclosure, let me break down what my feelings are about Jason Garrett. I believe Jason Garrett should have been fired as early as 2013. Jason Garrett is in his 10th season as the head coach for the Dallas Cowboys. He has 2 playoff victories, 3 postseason appearances. This is his 10th season. His first year was he took over halfway through after Wade Phillips, was unceremoniously let go. So basically, this is 8 full seasons for Jason Garrett. This is his 9th. The man's got 3 postseason appearances, 2 playoff victories in that time. Playing for America's team, the most popular NFL team, with an owner that's giving you every asset you can imagine, with first-class facilities, a brand in and of itself. You win with the Dallas Cowboys, you're going to get paid. And Jason Garrett has religiously come up short. Now, why do I mention 2013? Because back then, ladies and gentlemen, Jason Garrett went 8-8 for the third consecutive year. And for the third consecutive year at that time, he lost the final game of the regular season with the division title on the line each time. Year 1, year 2, year 3 of the 8-8 finishes. Each game, week 17, 16th game of the season, the division crown was on the line. And did he keep losing to the same nemesis? No, he lost to all three teams within the division. One year he lost to the Eagles. Another year he lost to the Giants. Another year he lost to the Redskins. Each year he lost the final game of the regular season and missed the playoffs. He should have been fired then. I am not qualified to debate or discuss the football acumen of Jason Garrett, nor would I. I see the level of affection people have for him, and I would never, ever assume the man doesn't know football. That's not where I'm going with this. Where I'm going with it is that it's a results-oriented business. He has come up flagrantly short year after year after year. And everybody and their mother knows the only reason he's the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys is because of Jerry Jones' affection for him. So we fast forward with that knowledge to last night or yesterday afternoon at Foxborough. And for, I'm not sure, but I think like the 8th time in their 11 games this season, they operated from a deficit. They were down 10-0. 4 times this year they've gone against a playoff caliber team. Green Bay, Minnesota, New Orleans. Oh, by the way, a New Orleans squad without without Drew Brees. And then yesterday, New England. What's Dallas's record in those games? 0-4. When the Jets beat them, the Jets were winless. And they still beat them. It's raining yesterday. It's freezing. It's raining. The torrential rains are coming down. It's gusty winds. That proverbial fog that hovers over Gillette Stadium like a damn virus this time of year. Nothing was different yesterday. I mean, everything about the game begged for you to run the damn football. Why is that so important? Who did Jerry Jones pay in the offseason? Or right before the season began? Who did he pay? Who did he give $90 million to? $50 million in guarantees. Who is that? That was Ezekiel Elliott. Why do you think Jerry Jones sounds so ticked off? By the way, Ezekiel Elliott did average more than 4 yards a carry yesterday. You gave him the ball 21 times. Why not 30? Under conditions like that, why not? Oh, by the way, Dak Prescott put on gloves somewhere in the second quarter or whatever the game. You didn't see the weather out there when you warming up? You didn't know beforehand you might have needed gloves? Had no clue? Where's your offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore? You didn't see him? Jason Garrett, you were a former offensive coordinator. You didn't see him? You didn't know any better? So you don't get Ezekiel Elliott the ball. Oh, by the way, we know Ezekiel Elliott got his money. We know Dak Prescott wants to get his money. Who else looking to get paid? Amari Cooper. I know you had Stephon Gilmore on him. Arguably the best cornerback in football. You target Amari Cooper one time in the first half. Once. That's what they did. That 4th and 11, when Amari Cooper, everybody thought he caught the pass. No, it was the right call by officials. It touched the ground. It was not a catch. It was the right call. But the point of the matter is, you targeted him twice to 3 times for the entire game. Your number one receiver. You've come up with no plays, nothing innovative-wise to get the damn football in his hands. Nothing. Nothing at all. And then we get to special teams, which the sound that we played with Jerry Jones talking alluded to. A blocked punt by Slater. Two kickoffs muffed in the first half. The blocked punt led to the first touchdown to N'Keal Harry by Tom Brady. Only New England touchdown of the game. Two muffed kickoffs in the first half, another one in the second half. It's coaching. Tell me, looking at the Dallas Cowboys, you don't see a team that should be making more noise than a 6-5 record. They got an MVP candidate at least coming into the game in Dak Prescott. You got a running back that you started out the season with that's considered arguably the best. You got a number one wide receiver. You got one of the best offensive lines in football. Gallup is no scrub. Jason Witten, the ultimate security blanket, is back for you. And your defense, led by DeMarcus Lawrence, buffered by a linebacker crew, including Sean Neal, Jalen Smith, and Leighton Vander Esch, who wasn't available yesterday. I mean, you look at this Dallas team, collectively speaking. What is it that tells you they should be 6-5 at this point? Nothing. We walked into this game believing that the New England Patriots was going to win for one reason and one reason only. Bill Belichick over Jason Garrett. Period. Have you seen who Tom Brady's throwing the football to? Has anybody noticed? N'Keal Harry. You know, he caught four passes this season. This kid Lacossi, the tight end, whatever the hell his name is. You know, he's caught 6 passes this entire season. You got running backs like Burkhead and James White catching passes, looking like leading receivers. Julian Edelman can't catch a break because damn near every pass that matters has to come his way. There's no Josh Gordon. There's no Antonio Brown. There's no Rob Gronkowski. And somehow, some way, the Patriots are surviving. Likely because of their elite defense, we get that. Poor Tom Brady, everybody acting like he's done. Nobody seeing who he's throwing the damn football to. We get paid to do this for a living and we don't know who the hell he's throwing the football to. That's how lost we all are. Who the hell are these people? But somehow, some way, Tom Brady manages to make sure that the Patriots don't beat themselves. And they lean on the defense heavily, obviously. I don't know what the hell y'all watching. If y'all think that Jason Garrett should keep his job, Jason Garrett should be let go right now. Clearly, he's not coming back. Why not cut your losses? Give the job to Rashad as your defensive coordinator. Move him up to the interim tag. Pursue Lincoln Riley or Sean Payton in the offseason if Rashad can't get it done, but you don't want to disrupt everything that's going on right now. Leave everybody else intact. Get rid of Garrett and your defensive and your special teams, guy, if you have to. I'm not advocating it because, listen, these kind of things didn't happen to the Dallas Cowboys prior to yesterday. Yesterday was one bad game. I don't think the special teams guy should lose his job on one bad game, even though they just seemed ill-prepared. But Jason Garrett, we ain't talking about one game. Hell, we ain't talking about one season. We're talking about an alarming level of ineptitude and inefficiency when it comes to galvanizing the Dallas Cowboys to maximize the potential that is available to them. Has anybody noticed the job that Mike Tomlin is doing in Pittsburgh? There's no Ben Roethlisberger, no Antonio Brown, no Le'Veon Bell. Hell, no even Mason Rudolph. And that was before he got benched in the second half yesterday. There were games that he missed earlier this season. Somehow, some way, the Steelers are still 6-5. They picked up one dude, Minka Fitzpatrick, from Miami, and look at what it's done for that defense. Mike Tomlin's going to get a lot of coaches fired this year. With the job that he's doing, every owner in the National Football League that has a struggling team should be able to say, why the hell can't you do that? At least keep us respectable. You talk about a brother that will have a job within the hour. If the Steelers would have let him go, it would be Mike Tomlin. Jerry Jones should be able to, would probably hire him on the spot. And if he didn't hire him, he'd be a fool. And he'd probably be competing with Daniel Snyder in Washington or somebody else. But Mike Tomlin is special. Him and Kyle Shanahan are my top two candidates for Coach of the Year honors, without question. And speaking of Kyle Shanahan, my God, what a beatdown San Francisco put on Green Bay last night. That was just embarrassing. Green Bay Packers just got punked. By the way, just so y'all know, I called the Wisconsin Police Department. I've asked to put out an APB for a missing persons report. Jimmy Graham, to be exact. Where the hell is this guy falling to? I mean, my God. I mean, what the hell is going on with him? One reception for 7 yards? With the pressure that was applied to Aaron Rodgers, the way they were all over him, and you couldn't give him any help. Receivers on the outside couldn't get open, and I can't even blame them because guess what? They ain't in one-on-one coverage. The reality of the situation is San Francisco brags. I mean, they've got a front four led by Nick Bosa and Bruckner that can get to the quarterback without blitzing. They can pick and choose when to blitz, but they can get at you without the blitzing. There is no help. Aaron Rodgers has had no help last night, or he had no help last night. You don't have a running game. Devontae Adams can do but only so much. And your tight end is supposed to be doing something. If you think I'm lying, look at Kittle. Look at George Kittle for the San Francisco 49ers. He might be the best tight end in football. I love my brother Travis Kelce now in KC. I'm not going to summarily dismiss him from the conversation, but this kid, George Kittle, is special. 6 catches for 129 yards with a chipped bone in his ankle. Missing a couple of games, coming out and playing the way that he played. And I know there's a lot of people that want me to give love to Jimmy Garoppolo, a.k.a. porn star Jimmy. But let me tell you something right now. If I had receivers that open, I could throw the ball at them too. I mean, what the hell are we talking about here? When you think about the San Francisco 49ers, you get to their defense, you get to about 3 or 4 dudes on their defense, and then you get to their offense with their running game and Kittle before you even think about Garoppolo. You think about Shanahan first, too. He's just living a good life right now. So let's just call this like we see it. San Francisco's the best team in football right now. I know Richard Sherman didn't want us saying this. Y'all were ignorant, stay ignorant. That's what he wants to say. No, we don't want to do that. We slept on the San Francisco 49ers. How awful they were a couple of years ago. That 1-7 start they had before getting Jimmy Garoppolo. Last year, him going down, getting injured. The San Francisco 49ers, led by John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, have built one hell of a team. As far as I'm concerned, we're going to learn a lot about them next week when they play against the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. But I'm here to tell you something right now. The San Francisco 49ers have made a legitimate case to be the best team in all of football right now. And I don't think any of us are capable of denying that. 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. We'll continue to get into a slew of games that took place yesterday. New Orleans, what I saw. Pittsburgh, what I saw. Cleveland, what I saw. Baltimore tonight against the Rams. The list goes on. Seattle and Philadelphia is something I obviously can't ignore. So there's a lot of stuff to get into, and I can't wait to do it. You're listening live to Stephen A. ESPN Radio, ESPN News. That was Straight Talk Wireless. Everything for less, only at Walmart. Back to your calls and more in a minute. By the way, worried about finding the perfect gift this holiday? We've got you covered because when you give the gift of Peloton, you're giving a gift they're guaranteed to love. There's no better time than now because Peloton's best offer of the year is here. For a limited time only, get the Works accessories free when you purchase the bike, including a pair of Peloton cleats, weights, and headphones. It's everything they'll need to get riding, all together valued at $200.